Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. Whippy! So before we get started today, I just wanted to tell you of the next event that I'm doing that's coming up. A lot of people get requests, what's the next show I'm going to, or what's the next workshop. I don't have an upcoming workshop, but on November 15th, if you've come to my drawing parties before at Titmouse Animation Studios, there's going to be a nighttime drawing party, drawing models, again there, and just hanging out and having fun. And then I'll be at DesignerCon that weekend, so you can check that out at silvertunes.com under the events if you want to learn more about any of that. All right, so what I want to do is I get these things in my head. Hey, I'm just gonna start off with this, and I feel like I want to kind of read this every single time. I say that right now, but I don't know that I will. But I'm putting it on my desk right here. I'm gonna read it, and I've mentioned it before. It's not what my whole topic's about. I'm just going to say it in the beginning, and then I want to go on into my topic. And it's the top 5 regrets of the dying. And why that just really hits me is because it's something that to me is scientific. It's something that these hospice nurses they're working with these dying patients, and they wrote an article about the top 5 things that all these people that are on their deathbed, they got less than a month or 2 to live, say what their regrets are, which means to me that at the end, you're going to go through this if you don't address it now. So why not be present, and why not address this now? So I'm going to just say this as a reinforcement for that. So I don't know that's in any particular order of importance, but these were the top 5 regrets. Number 1, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Huge. And I say this because I hear it all the time. I just did a retreat and was just talking to one of the attendees that was there. Is from India. But I hear it all the time from people. Again, the people have these other expectations. We need you to go to school because you're not going to make it as an artist. You can't be successful as an artist. And we hear it whether from your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, uncles and aunts, and not truly living a life true to yourself, because all you're concerned about is what their needs are, what they think is best for you. And that's a hard thing to do. So that's a huge regret. So think about that. Are you pursuing your life right now in the direction that you want to go because this is your life? I hope so, that you're not living it in the life of what other people expect of you. So think about that. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, we hear all the time, you got to work hard, you got to work hard, work. Yes, you got to have a good work ethic. But I don't feel there's a difference between having a good work ethic and being a workaholic. Some people are workaholics. They'd rather work all the time than spend time, free time. That's not important to them. They'd rather not spend a lot of time with their family, their kids. That's their thing that they want to do. They just got to go all the time. It's in their nature. If you find true comfort in that, and you don't feel stressed, and you don't feel like you're missing out on things, but this is truly what you know you have to do, is work so much all the time. Maybe you don't have children, maybe you don't have responsibilities, maybe you don't have a partner, maybe you don't have all these things. Well, then go for it. Do it if you feel that's your true calling. But I gotta say, if you're feeling like, I'm working all the time, and people go, how you doing? You go, I'm just busy, and I'm busy, but it's not a good busy. Well, then you're a little bit of a workaholic, and maybe you should slow down a bit. But yeah, in order to be successful at anything, it is going to take work. But again, it's a balance. It's finding that balance and not overdoing it to where you're just miserable. So think about that. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Give yourself that time. You got to have time for yourself, all right? The next thing is, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Where a lot of people they're afraid of what other people are going to say, what other people are going to think. And I think it's okay to be vulnerable. I think it's okay to be open. I wish more people in conversation, in all honesty, would go into truth talk. There's so much bullshit conversation you have with people. Hey man, how's it going? Oh man, no, it's good. Yeah, it's all good. How about you? And that's it. Boom, how about you? And I'm discovering something in my life right now. I'm really realizing by doing this has really opened things up and really helped me out. And I think the more open we are, the more truthful you can get, the more open you are to these feelings, the more honest you are, I think you can get it off your chest. And even if you write out all your feelings and you never share it with a person, just write out all your feelings, how you're truly feeling, what's truly going on in your mind, and express it. And I think even though you're holding a lot of stuff inside you, I feel by writing it down, it at least will open it up. And even just those big dreams and thoughts you have, put it down on paper, but have the courage to express your feelings so that you don't feel so bottled up and tight inside. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I think that's important. I know that I go through that a lot myself. I know I haven't been in the studios. I stopped working in-house about 12 years ago. That was my own decision that I wanted to make. But I've been freelancing and doing all that stuff ever since, and doing all the stuff that I do. But there's this times where I go, the one thing I truly miss was keeping up with all my friends. So I do actively make an effort, not as much as I'd like. I kind of get in my little cave out here and I just kind of want to be in my little place, but being in touch with friends is very important. Just reaching out every now and again, just to stay in contact. A regret I have, and I can't even say it's a regret, because if I truly wanted to I could just pick up the phone, but reaching out to my high school buddies. It's been over, so I graduated high school in 1990, however many years ago that was, 28 years now, I think, right? So it's a long time, but I had my best friend, and other people, but reaching out to them. But these are the things, if it's really important to you, you'll think about it, but it's an important thing. And the last one, I wish I had let myself be happier. I wish I had let myself be happier. Instead of, and how do you let yourself be happier? You let yourself be happier just by actively moving towards the things that you want to do and start following through. And I think that's how you find happiness, because I think oftentimes people are just like, creating all the stories and all the madness in your head, and you allow yourself to let situations that happen, oh, that person never contacted me back, I'm not going to be happy now. Oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to be happy. And this constant not allowing yourself to be happier. And I think that's truly a choice that you have to make, and you just got to choose. I'm going to be happier. I just want to be happy. I'm going to start enjoying the situation, because this is the current situation that I have in my life. This is where I am. I know that I want to get that specific job. I know that I want to have this much money in the bank. I know that I want to have this relationship. I know that I want to be married. I know I want to have kids. I know I want to, and thinking all this stuff, when that happens, that's the only time I'm going to be happier, instead of thinking about, what, if I think about these things that I want, and I'm just actively feeling good, and I put that thought in my head, and not that it's just going to appear because you're a magician or something, but because you're actively thinking this is what you want to make happen, and allow this time to be that journey that's eventually going to get you there. You're still in process of making all this happen. This is the thing. A tree is in the process of growing. It doesn't grow overnight. So just know that you are currently in the process of making yourself become more fulfilled in what it is you want to do. It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But every time you're working on your book, and you're sketching and you're drawing, and you're just filling up pages in your books, and you're doing things and you're just sketching, every time that's a work in progress. Remember, there's those books that have been written, and Malcolm something wrote, I can't even remember the name of the book, but that there's sort of 10,000 hours, however many long as it takes. It's a work in process. You gotta work on your craft. So if you're 16 or 18 right now, you know that, 10 years, 8 years, however many years it takes, might not be about 24 years old, 26 years old before you start hitting your stride if you're truly working on your craft. And that's what's sort of gonna get me into today's talk, is about working on little bits and pieces. I was having one of my Skype mentorships that I do, meet on Tuesdays, meeting with people every Tuesday. And you can check that out if you're interested on my website under classes. It gets filled, it gets backed up, but again, timing, you'll get there, we'll meet. And one of the people that I was talking to, I was talking about just the idea and concept that, remember when you were a kid and you were eating, and your parents would always say, not only don't chew with your mouth full, but take little bits at a time, don't eat. And I remember telling my kid, I used to cut up, and my wife would cut up my kids' steaks and their chicken and everything else, or whatever food they had, into little bites. Because you're not going to eat it all at once. Because what's going to happen if you take those big chunks and those big bites, it gets not only harder to chew, but it gets harder to swallow, and you could choke yourself to death. That's the fear, right? Especially with a little kid. Don't take those big chunks, little bites. So what I kind of want to tell you right now is the same philosophy. Just take little bites at a time. Don't overdo it. People are trying to stuff their mouth with so much information. I gotta learn all this right now. I gotta just put all this stuff in my head and take all these classes and not focus and just take these little bites and these little chunks, little bits at a time, and let it just enjoy it. And enjoy the taste, right? That's part of eating. Okay, oh man, I'm eating all that and I'm feeling full, and it's like I feel like I want to be sick, and I didn't even enjoy the taste of that steak. I ate it so quickly. It's the same thing with your artwork, is taking the little bites. Is I'm going to learn this right now, and I'm going to enjoy the process, and through that enjoyment you're going to be retaining information, and then you feel satisfied, and then you feel like, now I can have a little bit more, and I can experience and have a little bit bigger of a bite because I'm maturing, I'm getting bigger, I'm growing, I can take a little bit of a bite. But when you're a baby, you can't take those big bites. So when you're studying, you're a baby. You're a baby. You got to think like a baby. You're learning how to draw the characters for the first time. You're learning how to draw hands really for the first time. You're learning how to draw the human face for the first time. You're learning how to draw composition for the first time. And you take these little baby bites and just think like that. Stop being in such a rush and overdoing it. You're not going to retain the information. It's not going to be enjoyable. It's going to be stressful. And this is what you have to do. Slowly but surely, in a sense, kind of wins the race. If you just started a race and you just sprinted straight away, but you had to do a mile, you're going to tire out so damn quickly. So you slowly build into it, and at the last lap, you kind of give it your all and you sort of go for it. So everything you've experienced in your life through these situations, again, you got to bring that into your everyday existence and your everyday life. This is how it goes. If you want to keep resisting that, if you want to keep fighting that, if you want to keep saying to yourself, no, that's not how it works. That's not what I'm supposed to do. That's not what people are telling me. People are telling me to work so hard and go, and not sleep and not rest and not do anything. That is not the way of the Jedi. Okay? You cannot do that. You cannot sustain that. So what I want to encourage you is just take little bites. Set up a schedule, set up a routine. If it's something you want to do, I help people with it all the time with my mentorship. I help you set up a schedule. If that's what you need. If you can't get your schedule together, start setting up a schedule, a routine, Monday through Friday. Keep your weekends open. Keep your weekends free. You don't have to be working every weekend. You got to be able to pat yourself on the back. Some of you guys are working at studios where they're working you to death. You're working overtime. You're killing yourself. One of the students at my last retreat I was at, he was working on feature storyboards. It's overworked to death, quite honestly. And that's the impression I got. Unfulfilled, working. If you're in an environment where you are just being worked to death, you got to make that hard decision. You got to make that hard decision whether this is worth your health. And quite honestly, he was suffering some health issues there. You know who I'm talking about if you're watching this. You're suffering. So don't do that to yourself. Your health is so vital. And what I love about what I think it was Warren Buffett talked about, if you guys hopefully know who Warren Buffett is, just very successful businessman, entrepreneur, my nose is itching, just talks about, could you imagine if you were given one car for your whole life, from the time you're born, and say you live to be 90 years old, 100 years old, you get one car, and it's no other car, but it's your responsibility to take care of that car. You got to make sure it's clean, you got to make sure it's running. That's how it pertains. Your body is your one ride. You get one ride in this life, one car. Are you going to work yourself to death? No, back to the 5 regrets. Are you going to work so hard? Are you going to just not let yourself be happy? Are you going to do all these things? Are you going to just, your own body, your own work, and you're unfulfilled, and this is your body, this is your life. So do yourself a favor. Sometimes you got to pull the trigger, make those hard decisions and say, you know what, I gotta cut this job, man. It's killing me. I'm unfulfilled. I'm doing something every day in my life that I'm so unhappy with. Who was I talking to? I was just talking to a guy at a party I was at the other night. No artist or anything. This guy was a lawyer, but he used to be in the mortgage industry, and he hated his life. Every day he woke up was just miserable, having to do his mortgage thing, and made the decision and told his wife, you know what, I think I want to study to be a lawyer. I can't stand the job that I'm doing anymore, and put himself through law school and became a lawyer, and is so happy now, and was saying he's so glad that he took that leap of faith and he went into a profession that he knew he was unhappy and unfulfilled where he was. So he made the decision to do what it is that he wanted to do, and he did it and made it a reality, and now he enjoys what he does. And that's what I'm talking about. This is what you're going to have to do. This is where these choices in life happen, but slowly but surely. And if you're in a position right now and in a job right now that is so unfulfilling to you, and every day you wake up in the morning and you're freaking miserable, and it's going to eat your insides alive. It's like a monster. It's a art monster, eating you alive, taking your soul, taking everything out of you. Well, then you need to come to that decision of what it is that you truly want to do, okay? And find that passion project that you really want to do, and start working on that and not putting it off to the side, and eventually hope that that can start to build up and take over. This guy who became a lawyer, he had a family, he had 3 children already, he had a mortgage, he had everything, so again, you got to make these decisions, and they're going to be hard sometimes, but the light at the end of the tunnel is, thank God, man, that I don't have to look back in my life with that regret, that I can look back at the end of my life and be like, damn, man, I am so happy that 30 years ago, I made the decision to change my profession and start working on this and doing this, but you got to start now. Don't wait another 10 years. Don't wait another 2 years. Don't wait another 6 months. What are you waiting for? Again, you know where your life is at. You know what you're going through, but be realistic, and don't let this sort of mindset, these things that are this courage factor, right? The constant worry, the constant doubt, the constant, oh my God, this person's criticizing my work, so therefore, because I'm being criticized, I can't move forward, or I'm not getting enough likes on social media, so I can't move forward, and blah, 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 blah. Excuse. When you become your creator, when you become determined, when you set forth the effort and just start working working on it, what you keep putting off, just do it. That's it. That's my art talk. Thanks for watching. silvertunes.com. Check out my upcoming classes, my next mentorship, home mentorship, Simi Valley 8-week course starts in October. I got my current session starting next week. That one's filled. Next one, October. If you're interested, please fill out an application through my website. Only if you're interested. Don't send applications if you're not interested. I don't like that when people send applications and they just do it for some reason, but they don't really have the means or want to truly do it. If you really want to do this, if you really want to change your life, if you really want to do something for you, fill out the application. All I'm trying to do is pair up people with the same mindset. So don't worry about where you are with your level. I'm trying to pair you together. All right. silvertunes.com under classes. Check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Make it a great week. Adios.